What is up, guys? My name is Jackal, and we are here for quite possibly one of the greatest video game series of all time. And we're here at the start. The Legend of Zelda. The original. The OG. Got our little intro here. The Legend of Zelda. Many years ago, Prince Darkness Ganon stole one of the Triforce with power. English. Princess Zelda had one of the Triforce with wisdom. She divided it into 8 units to hide it from Ganon before she was captured. Go find the 8 units, Link, to save her. And that's all we got to go with. And these are all the items that we need, or that we will be getting, or will be seeing. And this is a great game, guys. Honestly, one of my least favorite. Surprisingly enough. I actually prefer the second Zelda game to this one, which is a pretty controversial opinion in most of the Zelda community, but I actually am not the biggest fan of this game. This is one of my least favorites. I'm not a real big fan of, like, the cryptic nature, but I have beaten this game many a times in my life, so I know exactly, I should know where everything is in this game. I should be able to, well, I don't know where, like, every, like, place you can bomb to find fucking rupees are and shit. I don't know where all of that stuff is. But, as far as, like, where all the hearts, I think I know where everything is. So I should be able to find everything relatively easily. But, yeah, honestly, I couldn't really figure out what game I really wanted to play. I didn't know what I was feeling or what I was vibing with. And honestly, Zelda just seemed like the thing. Like, you know, we just got news that Breath of the Wild 2 was going to be delayed, which a lot of people seem to freak out about, but I don't know, man. I was here for the Twilight Princess days. I remember what that was like when it comes to, like, delays of a Zelda game. So I'm not too worried about it. But we're going to start fresh. My goal is to one day, through this channel, whether anybody watches it or not, I want to beat every single Zelda game. Main Zelda game, which right now I believe there are 18 of. And I have beaten most of them. Let me just inject that straight into my veins. Oh, man. Oh, I live for this shit. Now in celebration of my, my green god over here. And as we start, we get the most iconic lines in all of Zelda. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And now we started off. But yeah, out of the main Zelda games, I have, you'd be able to figure out which ones I have not beaten easier than the ones that I have beaten. Because I've beaten more of them. Or I have not beaten less of them than I have beaten, if you know what I mean. So I've beaten the original, and I think I'm just going to explore. Just walk around for a bit. I know where the first dungeon is, but, you know, just enjoy life a little bit. Oh, this feels so good. Feels so familiar. But I've beaten Zelda. I've beaten the first Zelda. I've beaten this game. I've beaten Zelda 2. I've beaten... Give me that. Ooh. I've beaten A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Oracle of Seasons. I have not beaten Oracle of Ages. There's a heart over here. I need to blow it up. But I need bombas. That was very rude of you. I do not appreciate that. Oh, my foot is just... Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, I got to, like... I think I got to the Lord Jabu Jabu's belly in Oracle of Seasons. So I think that's like the 6th or the 7th dungeon. I got pretty far into that game. It's not like I, you know, didn't make it far. I made it pretty far in that game. But, I think that was actually around the time the Breath of the Wild came out. And then I ended up not finishing it because of Breath of the Wild coming out. So I got easily distracted and not finished the game like I always do. Beaten Wind Waker, beaten Four Swords Adventure. Minish Cap, I've only beaten... Ooh, I need those. Alright, I need more. I've beaten... Hey. Whoops. How dare you. I've beaten 2 out of the 5 dungeons of Minish Cap. Ooh, lag. I haven't gotten terribly far into that game, but I've... Oh. Don't need to buy bombs. Ooh, the legendary double hit. When you hit a guy with your sword, and then it pushes him just far enough that the beam can clock him again a second time. That's the best right there. That's the sweet stuff. Alright, let's go get... There's 2 heart pieces I can get right off the bat. Is there, man? That was a little bit far, but you know what? I'll take it anyway. Yeah. Nobody ever chooses the potion. Don't choose the potion. What kind of loser chooses the potion? Wait. Why is there a heart container that I can't think of the location of? Oh, no, there's only 2 I can get right now. I can get these because 1 I need the raft, 1 I need the ladder, 1 I need a candle. You need to not shoot me. Very, very rude. Stamp. But I've beaten Four Swords Adventure. I have not beaten Minish Cap, like I said. I've beaten Twilight Princess. I've beaten Phantom Hourglass. I have not beaten Spirit Tracks. I think I've beaten 2 dungeons in Spirit Tracks. Beaten Skyward Sword. I think I beat like half of A Link Between Worlds, but I don't really remember it a whole lot. I didn't really get to play a whole lot of Triforce Heroes. I think I beat like the first world, and you know, that's as far as I got into there. And then Breath of the Wild, low key, I never actually beat Breath of the Wild. I beat 3 out of the 4 dungeons. I didn't beat the Gerudo dungeon. I didn't get there yet. I ended up moving out of my parents' house and just, I let my, because my, well, when I say my parents, I mean my grandparents. I lived with my grandparents, and so did my mom, my stepdad, and all my siblings. So my younger brother lived there at the time. And, you know, I wasn't going to take the Switch while my younger brother was, you know, was over at the house. You know, I'm not going to be bogus as fuck like that. So I let him keep the Switch, so I just never ended up beating it, and I just never went back. I started playing it on the Wii U that we got. I had bought it, but then it was one that was my girlfriend's older kids back in the day, and, you know, he didn't really take the best care of it. Ouch. Alright. You guys are dicks. Fucking grande assholes. Fuck you. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You suck. Ow. Alright. Full bombs. Fuck out of here. Alright. Second dungeon right over here, but we're not going to do it. You can do things out of order in this game, but, like, I don't. It bothers me too much. even on the ones that are more open-ended. I mean, I guess in this game it's not really. It could be. You know, I actually want to. I'll look up at some point. Because I don't know. This game and A Link to the Past, you can do things in a different order. I wonder if there's an order that's more appropriate. And not in terms of items, but in terms of difficulty. Like, I wonder if it scales perfectly like it should. But where we have it listed, we're just going to do it in order. Because that's what it says. And that's how I like to do things. When it came to A Link Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild, what I had looked up was what was like the way to do it for the game to feel like it went proper, easy to hard. That's what I wanted. Because I don't like doing areas like as I wander around that end up being like the hardest first, and then the rest of the game feels incredibly easy. I mean, shit, just finishing up Chrono Trigger, like, I was even getting aggravated at that game, how easy it was feeling. I know where there's a ferry. I know there's a ferry to the right somewhere, but I always forget how to get to that one. I don't think I have to. You have to walk near it for anything in the world. Hiya. But yeah, and go figure, you know, Spirit Tracks and Breath of the Wild are two games that I have not beaten for Zelda games, and yet my brother has. So, you know, at least a couple games where I have, just due to circumstance and time, have just not beaten. Breath of the Wild is always hard for me to get back into, though, because, honestly, I am not a huge fan of open world games. They just feel very disconnected from the story, and I just end up getting bored. I guess I don't really need to go to the fucking Great Ferry like I was coming here in the first place for. I ended up getting all my fucking hearts back, basically. So I guess didn't need to come over here. Oh well. To the first dungeon. Hooray! Let's go, baby. Don't touch me. But yeah, no, it's... Even though there's only 4 dungeons, if they were going to do something like that, what I wish they would have done, if it would have been, for me, it would have been to take 2 dungeons and open it up to you right from the beginning. Pick one of these 2. Doesn't matter which one. Once you do the first one, you got to do the second one, though. After that, all they would have needed was like one extra dungeon in the game. Make a third dungeon, or like a third dungeon in a mandatory spot. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Put it like, make it mandatory for the story to do it after the first 2. Just so that way there's like something plot relevant to kind of pull you back into what's going on and like your reasoning for doing it, and then let you do the other 2 afterwards. You know what I mean? So almost kind of like, I know I had a friend who had one of them. I don't remember which one it honestly was, because I don't remember the Robot Masters. But I know I had a friend who had one of the old black and white Mega Man games for the Game Boy. And I know those ones that did like... Actually, I think 7 did that, and 8, where you could fight 4 Robot Masters, and then the other 4 come after. Basically do that with the 4 Zelda dungeons. Have 2, then 2, but in the middle have an extra dungeon that would have, like, been there to refocus, like, the story. Like, something you had to do in order to, like, access Ganon's castle later. Whatever it was. Whatever it could possibly be. But just an extra dungeon that, you know, because especially with as big as Breath of the Wild was, you know, you could have like 40 hours of gameplay if you're not doing story in between 2 dungeons. So if you're playing for a long time, at least someone like me, pull you back into the story for like a mandatory dungeon in like a mandatory spot, meaning, because obviously all 4 of them would be mandatory. Well, I guess they're not even. But one that would be in the center just to pull you into central focus, and then boom, the other 2 are available to you. Now go off, do what you want again, you know, bye-bye. To me, that would have been the way that I would have preferred to have been done. Just so that way, things would feel a little more story driven. Because that's my big problem with open world games, is that the stories just tend to be meh. Alright, well, and we got a dungeon, so you know what that means. We are a warrior of green. So you must celebrate with green. Listen, my man wears green and we love grass. That's how I look at it. Level 1. All right, level 1. They all have names, but they don't say what they are. All right. Ooh. Bop, bop. Now see, the good thing is I am what you would call a Zelda expert. And by Zelda expert, I mean not really. I don't like speedrun games or shit like that. But I am very good at Zelda games. I'm usually fairly good at the puzzles in these games. Because they're not like... They're harder puzzles than people who, like, play regular games, if that makes sense. Like, when I say regular. It's harder puzzles than most people are ever going to encounter playing video games in their life. But, you know, somebody who actually plays games with, like, puzzles. Like, you know, they're going to look like, oh, man, Zelda puzzles are easy. Well, yeah, it depends on the standard by which you're looking. I'm usually somewhat good at puzzles. I know there's one puzzle, and maybe when we get there in the future, in like a fucking 15 years when I get it, but there's Ooh, I wanted to go the other way, actually. How dare you cut me off. Ha-cha, 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 ha-cha. But I know there's one puzzle that I will forever... I think the compass is over this way. And I don't want to backtrack if I don't have to. But I know there's one puzzle that I can't stand, and it's one of the puzzles to get the Master Sword in Twilight Princess. So this is a Zelda game that, like, isn't going to be seen by me again for a very long time. But there's like a puzzle you gotta do where you have to like get these statues to hop around in a certain way, and I remember having to look up the answer to that puzzle because it was just one that I could not figure out. Now see, here's what I do like about this though, like, they set these blocks up on purpose to where, like, you could tell the center of the blocks is like here. Well, or I guess not really. This is like the, this is the midway point, like, vertically. But if we go horizontally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So, this way, up and down, this is the one that's exactly in the middle. But going this way, there is not, like, this line is the perfect middle. So this block is just, there's nowhere for it to fit in the center, quote unquote, that's going to like make sense no matter where you want to put it. Because it's either going to be off on like the horizontal bits, or there's no way it can be, or on the vertical side, there's nowhere for it to be in the middle here. So like this block just looks out of place. And you just want to touch it. You just gotta touch it. Touch the butt. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. Now, I believe there's like 2 different interpretations as to what that means. And luckily, I have beaten this game enough to know what both of them are. But we will get there when we get there. Which is after this dungeon. Hiya. Got the map. Oh yeah, I think this one's called Eagle. Because you can see the eagle. The bottom part is like the talons. The part like to the left is its booty, tail feathers. Up top is the wings. In front of me is the head. So, you know, kind of an eagle. Not really. Ooh. Did I? Oh! Did I actually get... Did I get that key by that zombie running through, or skeleton running through me? Alright, fuck it. Even if it's just one more, if I can freeze you for a second, I'm gonna freeze you for a second. Give you the 5-0 treatment. Freeze! Alright. Just a little bit. Whoop! There you go. Alright. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Da-na-na-na. Iconic. More goods for the warrior of green. Oh boy. Alright. Now we're ready to go find the boss. Doo-doo-doo. There we go. Now the good thing is I won't have to turn this off in order to keep playing, so I don't have to spend time dying on purpose to save my game. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. If it does, then I would just play off screen until I caught up to wherever I was. If I really wanted, I could grind through this game really quickly. But you know. One of the things that I don't do enough in the Zelda games is honestly enjoy the world very much. Especially certain worlds like what is it? Certain worlds like Twilight Princesses I have found like exceptionally boring. Now that could just be like bias on my part. Alright. Can I kill all these wall masters? There we go. Alright, well, you know what? We stopped them anyway. We got one of these. Alright. Now, you hear that sound up there? I believe if I look up here, and we compare it down below, 3 on the bottom, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever. We have the entire dungeon explored. And it only took me like 6 minutes. Pretty easy first dungeon. Pretty easy start to the game. Now, you know, back in the day, this, you know, would have taken people a lot more to figure out on their first time. Now, it did come with a manual that I have looked up online, because I didn't have the manual growing up. I just watched people in my family play this game, and, you know, I learned most of what I saw from this game by watching people play it. You know, I didn't really have to learn any of this on my own. Some things, but not everything. But, you know, back in the day, this would have been a little harder because, you know, you didn't really have as much to go off of. You know, there was no internet to figure out answers from. There wasn't, you had to explore. Now, luckily, if you do things in the correct order, and you, like, a lot of the hints that you'll get from a lot of the old characters or things that you might find in caves will actually give you a good amount of hints as to what you need to be doing. There will usually always be a way to find what you need, or find reference to the things that you need throughout the game. I don't know how many things would be super cryptic. I guess we'll see as we get close, as we go through the game. We'll compare it, and we'll see in real time how much of this was cryptic if you're going in order and you're like kind of ish exploring what you can find just on your own. Except for knowing where the hearts are. I found those I already know where those are, so. But yeah, you know, there's a Zelda boss, so you know, right before a Zelda boss, you gotta take, you know, a quick, you know, break. Tis customary for a Zelda boss. Oh. But this is exciting. It's exciting to, you know, as much as I've had a hard time beating games, and Zelda games kind of break that trend, there are still a few that I haven't, and a few that have been hard for me to revisit. So, you know, it's nice that I've put myself onto a hobby that for the rest of my life will at least force me to play this, or like play through these games again. I'm trying to think if there's any one of them that like I'm really dreading going to and playing. And honestly, there's not. I'm such a fanboy of this fucking series. There's really not one that I can think of and be like, I don't want to go back and play that. Like, these games are that great to me. You know, they're not the best. They have certain tendencies, like, you know, Phantom Hourglass. Another one of my least favorite Zelda games. I actually place it one above this one because I prefer a story, and this game doesn't really give you a story. So it's just one above this one, but it's still one of my lesser favorite Zeldas. But like, I didn't mind the Temple of the Ocean King being a timed thing. I was cool with that for one game. Like, listen, that's cool. I enjoyed the gimmick. One time is enough. Majora's Mask, my favorite Zelda game of all time. My favorite. Has been my favorite since it came out. I loved its 3-day cycle. Once. I don't need you to do that again. I thank you. No thank you. I think we're good. Skyward Sword's sword mechanics, I honestly love them. Once. Alright, let's beat this pussy. Let's go. I could bum rush him, but I want to use finesse. Nope. I gotta hit him in the face. What up, doe? What up, doe? Come on. Oh, I could not dodge to save my life. Fuck dodging. Kill him. And we got a unit of 8. Hell yeah. Oh my god, I love these games. Kill this guy. Kill that guy. Alright, well, you know what? That's going to be it for today. We played for about a half hour. That's going to be it. Next time we come back in a couple days, we will explore around a little more. Is there anything that I want to get real early? I don't think there is. I think I'll just wander around, see if I can find any caves to explore. I am going to want to get, the thing for medicine and get medicine. I doubt I'm going to need it early, but, you know, I want to have it. I want to have it. So I'm going to have it. But I'm also going to see if I can find, like, caves and shit. Like, just not ones that I have to bomb for, but just explore the ones that are out in the open. Because, you know, I've beaten this game so many times and I know where I need to go that I kind of avoid places. I kind of don't go into places that I don't need to go. But, you know, maybe I should go. Let's see what I can explore. Like, I think there was already a cave that I went past that I didn't explore because I was just going for the hearts because, you know, I'm so used to this game. But we're going to try to explore more. So, explore more and Dungeon 2 next time. Till then.